y'all. I'm not gonna lie, your girl has been going through it. Like, it's been so hard this week. It was so hard. Like, I don't know. It's just, the Lord knows. Like, I literally was in his presence last night crying, telling him, Lord, I'm struggling. Help me, Jesus. And that's just the truth, because it's not always easy being on this, straight and narrow path, like, especially being a servant of God. Like, it is hard. You have hard times, but again, it doesn't change the fact that I do love him and I do love serving. It's just sometimes it's hard, and that's just the truth, But I just literally got up out of bed, like, it's 2-something. I just got out of bed, y'all. Your girl has been going through it, but God is so good. And I got up and I was singing because, again, and it's been hard for me to even sing. Like, I've been singing here and there, worshiping here and there, but it's been hard. Like, this week has been really rough, especially this week. Last week was better than this week, but this week, I don't know what come over me to where it just felt like I was hugging the bed. I was depressed. Feeling down, and such like that. And again, I get that he does allow me to feel the things that others, in the body are going through as well. But man, like, that be real, because you really do feel it. I felt like so down. Like, I just come in and I lay down and I just start crying. Like, it just was like, like I have to pray this away. And last night I was in his presence like, Lord, help me, Jesus. I'm struggling. But God is so good. Like, he's so good, and I love him so much. Like, he's so good, y'all. But yeah, I just wanted to, share this, because I know that it's not always easy on this journey, on this faith journey with God. Like, it's not. But, I know things will be better. We all go through things. We all feel certain type of ways and such. And this is just real. Like, this is real. Because it really be real in the field. Like, when you walking with God, it be so real. Like, my eyes getting watery because it's true. But again, every day I choose to still love and, serve, with all my heart, all my mind, all my soul, because I know that, that's what I'm supposed to do. And, I love him, he saved me. So, I try to be the best example of Christ that I can be, here on earth. And, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But hey, glory be to God for, giving us the strength to keep going, to keep walking, even though it feels hard, even though it feels like we're not, seeing anything sometimes in our journey and such like that. Just keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. When you're walking with God, he's going to continue to strengthen you. And you're going to get through all those things that you're going through that is temporary, making you feel down and all those things. It just builds strength. It teaches you how to persevere, And he sends us through it for a reason, because this helps us to be able to continue to move even, through the storm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the water may be rising and hitting you, right? But again, you're still going through it. You're still, walking. You're still making it through. And again, if you stop or if you turn back, it's just going to still be the same thing. It's still going to be the same thing. And you're not going to truly see, the fullness of what God was trying to get you to see from the journey in itself, for having to go through that way, and experience those things in itself. It's a reason behind everything. And, we learn as we walk, as we continue to grow with Jesus and we continue to choose his way. He teaches us many things throughout the, things that we go through. So you just want to make sure that your heart and your mind is still open to receive, even though it's hard, even though, it's times where the suffering feels like, hey, this not it. But again, we have to remember that we all will suffer at some point. Like, we're all going to go through that suffering, period. Jesus did it. So, if you're going to be a follower of Christ, you have to know that you're going to suffer too at some point on your journey. And that's the part that many be like, ugh, because, nobody want to go through it. But again, you got to go through it. You have to go through it. It's life. And I'm laughing now. Even though I be crying, but I be laughing because, after the fact, when I see that God is still moving. God is still strengthening me. God is still pushing me. He's still pushing me. And that's what he's doing with many of y'all. He's pushing y'all. He's pushing y'all so that y'all continue to, be able to get through the things that you're going to face later on in life. He sees the full picture. He knows what you're going to go through as you continue to walk with him, as you continue to elevate in life. He knows the challenges and all those things that is ahead. You don't. So again, he's taking you through this for a reason, so that you are strong enough when those times do present itself as well. When it's even, bigger, things that happens and such, to where you know how to fight it, to where you know how to get through, versus ball up, shrink back, and, no. That's not what we do, because we know that we got the victory with Jesus. So he going to get us through it. But we just got to go through to get through, okay? You can't think that you're going to get through something without going through it. It's no other way around it. You have to get through it. So however that is, with you getting through it, hey, just continue to hold on to the Lord's garment, continue to have faith, continue to trust, and lean on him for strength. And I feel led to share Job chapter 28, verses 7 through 11, and it says, "There is a path which no fowl know, and which the vulture's eye have not seen. The lion's whelps have not trodden it, nor the fierce lion passed by it. He put forth his hand upon the rock. He overturned the mountains by the roots. He cut out rivers among the rocks, and his eyes see every precious thing. He bind the floods from overflowing, and the thing that is hid bring he forth to light." Okay, so you are on this path that is mentioned that, the fowls and the lions have not trodden on it and such. You're on this path because you are with Jesus. You're walking with God. And again, God tells us that he binds the floods from overflowing. So again, he's still making sure that you are making through no matter what is, sent your way, no matter what is coming against you and such. He's still making sure that it does not overtake you. So yes, he mentions the floods, but again, the flood could be different in your journey. It can look differently in everybody's life, but again, it's not overtaking you, y'all. So you have to realize that again, he is still preparing the way for you as you walk with him. There's nothing in your path that is truly taking you out, okay? It has not taken you out if you're still breathing, if you're still walking, if you're still following and, trusting and hoping, these things that are coming up against you, it's not truly prospering. But again, it's for your strength. It's for you to learn, how to war, right? How to, believe in the things that God has said, no matter what it appears to be like in a physical. So, he's just saying that, even with these things, right, this water that may feel like, is drowning, you may feel like you're drowning, but he says that he binds the flood. So again, no water will overtake you as you continue to walk with God. So again, those things that is thrown against you, whatever you're going through in your situation, it will not overtake you as you continue to lean on him and walk with him, y'all. He's going to get you through it, but you have to continue to hold on to him. He's that, safeguard. He's that float that you need. He's that boat that you need, to get through. So, he's going to help you as he prepared the way, just as he prepared the way for those Israelites in the past when they made it through, the Red Sea. He parted the Red Sea. He's going to make a way regardless, but you have to continue to stand the faith. You have to continue to trust in him, y'all. And again, it also mentions that he put his hand forth upon the rock, and he overturned the mountain by the roots, meaning he uproot these things. He overturned them, get them out of the way. So again, he is saying, it may feel like you're going up against something, right? Something is blocking, right? Something is in your way where it's hard for you to, truly get through and get past. But again, God is the one who is uprooting those things. He's going to do it as you continue to follow and lean on him. He's going to move it out your way. He's going to do that work. Okay. Yes, he called us to, do the work that he purpose us to do. But again, when it comes to following God, he needs us to focus on the things he tells us to do. So some things are, left for God to remove and get out the way. We can't do it, but God can do it. So that's when prayer, comes into play, interceding and such, praying with scripture and all those things. That's when that comes, because again, you're depending on God to move that mountain, because he can, whatever this mountain is in your life, he can do it. You may not be able to do it. You may have tried, but again, it seems like nothing's working out when you do it, right? When you're trying to do it. But that's why it's important to lean on God and pray, and that's faith, that's belief in God that he can move the mountain, because it says that he will uproot the mountains. So again, leave that to God's hand, and your part is to pray for, these things to be moved, because again, he will move it, as you come into, partnership with him through prayer and faith. Oftentimes, it's not going to be by you doing the work physically to get these things out the way, but it's going to be spiritually, of you being in partnership with God in the spirit, praying for these things to be moved. Because again, it's not by physical force. So it's only something that God can do and move. So you have to just pray for it, y'all. So that's what he is saying with this, it's his hand that's going to move it, not yours. So, your part is to pray for it. And again, God will do it. But again, you have to believe, you have to trust, and have faith that he's going to do it. Trust God's timing, because he's going to move that mountain. He's going to get it out your way, because again, he has somewhere for you to be. That's a part of his assignment, his calling for your life. He's not going to keep you in that place, forever. He has, a mission for you to walk when it comes to this earth. That's why you're still here. So you got to know that he's going to grant you access to keep moving, to keep elevating as you follow him, but you have to continue to be obedient to him and also pray, y'all. It's important to pray, because it's a lot of things that we can't physically do that God can. And again, I saw it in my life before. So, he's going to do it, but you just have to believe and have faith. And again, some things we will not be able to understand, we will not get the fullness of the understanding, because we're just not capable of truly receiving the fullness of the understanding. Yes, he will give us understanding with certain things, but some things we will not truly fully understand, because his ways is higher than our ways and his thoughts is higher than our thoughts. That's just what it is with us being human and he being God above all things. So, he tells us that also in Job chapter 28, God's wisdom, and his understanding is beyond, our capacity to where we could truly receive. But he will allow us to, know some things. He will allow us to, understand some things. But again, we will still never get the fullness of the understanding when it comes to certain things in our lives, y'all. And then it says, but where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man know not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. The depth said, it is not in me. And the sea said, it is not with me. And then it says, God understand the way thereof, and he know the place thereof. For he look to the ends of the earth and see under the whole heaven, to make the weight for the winds, and he weighed the waters by measure. When he made a decree for the rain and a way for the lightning of the thunder, then did he see it and declare it, and he prepared it, and searched it out. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. So again, with this just shows God's creation and how, he created in such the measures that he had, measured in such, it's for purpose. Everything is for purpose. It's not for nothing. It's for a reason. So again, only he knows, again, the fullness to why, it's that much, or, to why, he did it this way and such. He knows the fullness of it. But again, you will come to that understanding later once you get past it. But right now you just may not understand it, and that's okay. But again, as you continue to move with him, then you will start to see why certain things have to happen the way it did, because it's a bigger picture, it's a bigger testimony, it's a bigger thing that is going to bring him glory, and also for others to see and witness of you just going through it and what God did for you. So yeah, it may appear to be a lot right to you, but God knew how much to measure to give you when it came to certain things that you were going to face and such. It wasn't to take you out, but it was to, push you, to challenge you. And again, a lot of people run from challenge. They don't like to be challenged. They don't like to have to endure and go through that type of thing. They want to just ease through. They want to just get it and receive it. But that's not how it is with God. When you give him your yes and you submit to him in his way, he's going to take you through some things. You're going to be challenged. And that's the thing. It's like, I was thinking about this with some time with God, and I was like, how I used to hate having to battle that last 100, of a race, because I used to run track, and I used to hate that part, because it's like, it comes down to it. Like, you're challenged at this point. You have to, try hard to, win the race, right? You have to compete with these people all in this one stretch, this last stretch. That's what it felt like, and I used to hate having to do that. I don't want to be challenged in that way. I just want to have the win to where I got the lead and I just carry it home. But again, it's not like that all the time, okay? And just like it wasn't like that in track, it's not like that with this, journey with God. It's going to be times to where you're going to be challenged, to where you have to continue to, fight. You have to, war. You have to get through it. You have to endure. You have to go through that challenging, experience so that you be stronger and such. And again, it's just life. So, he just let me to share that. But yes, y'all, a lot of people don't like to fight for certain things. A lot of people don't like to be challenged. And again, with God, we're going to be challenged in a way, because this is what produces prosperity. This is how we prosper, with him. And again, it's about us being, tug the bit, tug the bit to do more, tug the bit to go harder, and again, that's just what it is. But yes, I just pray that this truly bless somebody, because again, I was just in my bed, hugging a bed, and God got me up and to speak. So I just pray that, again, it truly blesses y'all. And again, make sure that you always test the spirit and take it back to God to make sure that it's Holy Spirit led. But yes, y'all, continue to lean on God. He's going to get you through. He's binding those floods, continue to walk, continue to swim, because you're going to be able to make it across. You're going to reach those things that he has promised you. You're going to receive it, okay? But have faith and trust in him and what he is doing with you, because again, it's for your good, and it's for the good of others as well, because it's not just about you, but it's about others as well. And you have to be ready to be able to do the things God needs you to do, so again, that you may be a blessing to others as well. But yes, y'all, God bless.